Hello, this is Laerun with the Shell, Lady Shell here. She is with us. We're going to do a revisit of her combat encounter video. Last time she did this was a couple of years ago. She did it by herself. And now we're going to actually revisit this, kind of update it, revise it for Phoenix Grounds Unity. So I want to introduce my former partner, Lady Shell. Hello, how are you doing?
I'm fine. How are you?
Great. So
Also,
can you
I wanted to say that my version that I did was done in Classic, which is why we're upgrading it or updating it to Unity. Okay, what were you going to
yes.
say?
Oh, I was just gonna say, we're playing the first encounter for Lost Mine of Phandelver. Lady Shell has all the characters in her possession, which is not normal. But that's one of the things that we wanted to mention is it's kind of difficult to play all the characters, but we've kind of rehearsed this, and it is possible, but you have to remember to switch between them. So,
Also, we want to say that Laerun's version is going to be the DM view, and my version, which will be on my YouTube site, will be the player view. So you can watch both videos, get the same audio, but see the version from the different viewpoints.
yes. The next thing is to let you know that you can prepare your desktop a little bit before you start to make it quicker. So I made like a run list, and what that is just some shortcuts that I put in a note. If I click on the little run list, it's going to bring up all the images and all the things that I need to start the adventure without having to hunt around the interface. It's important that you set this up ahead of time. And then for the characters, I already have them all set, ready to go. I'm just clicking down the combat tracker, which is where all the characters have already been added. So all this stuff was done ahead of time to prepare for combat. We're not going to go into all the detail for that, but this is just an easier way to get things started. So if you have to come back, you're not spending half an hour setting up. Okay, Shell. So I'm going to run this just as if it's an adventure. Um, and we're going to stop and talk about a couple things occasionally when we need to. So we'll try to keep this kind of like the game, but we'll explain some things as we go. Okay.
Okay.
So the adventures begins when you guys actually have left the city of Neverwinter. You have taken a job with two patrons, Sildar Hallwinter and Gundren Rockseeker. They have given you the task of escorting this ox wagon to Phandalin, and those two rode out ahead of you the day before. So you have now just come around this corner, and this little action happens. So basically, you're ambushed in this scene. Normally, the players would not know that. Shell already knows, and we rehearsed this, but this is how this plays out. So I'm going to read the box text, and it says, "You've been on the Tribor Trail for about half a day. As you come around a bend, you spot two dead horses sprawled about 50 feet ahead of you, blocking the path. Each has several black feathered arrows sticking out of it. The woods press close to the trail here, with a steep embankment and dense thickets on either side." So, what would you like to do? You're on
Well,
the Tribord Trail. You have the wagon. You guys are sitting there. You see that you come around that corner and you notice those dead horses.
right. Let me just explain who my people are. So I've got a Hildorf soldier, and this character is actually related to Gundren and his two brothers. So I think that he is going to go up and look in the saddlebags and see what's going on there. But I want to introduce the other players, which I've got a human noble here. He's also out front. We've got the Lightfoot halfling criminal here. He is driving the wagon. And then along the side, we have the high elf, and this is the wizard. And then, or wait a minute, yeah, that's the wizard. And then we have a final fighter, a human folk hero fighter that's positioned at the rear of the wagon. So my hill dwarf is gonna go take his little stubby legs and head over to the horses and see if he can see any clues here, what's going on, or if there's anybody, you know, behind the horse. You know, somebody
Hmm.
might be there that he might be able to rescue. So he's gonna head his little legs over here. We're not in combat, so I don't have to worry about my 85 feet of running or
No,
clump,
correct.
clump, clump.
Okay, so when she moved, I went ahead and approved the movement. Moves by itself over to the location where she ended. So she's taking a look at the horses. So at this point, if I wanted to do it before or after, it tells me that if anyone who knows Gundren and Sildar, if they investigate closer, they can identify the horses as belonging to Gundren Rockseeker and Sildar Hallwinter.
Do you
So
want
at
me to
this point,
roll
I
a?
can,
Do you
yeah.
want?
So at this point, with the point we're going to make is you can either just tell the players, like if they're new to Fantasy Grounds and to D&D, probably just tell them. If they are experienced, I'm going to have Lady Shell go ahead and roll an investigation.
Okay. He's not super good at this, and I am rolling it in the tower, correct?
Hmm.
Okay.
Lady Shell rolled a 10, which isn't bad. It's an average roll, and that's about what I would have set the difficulty. So, upon looking at the horses, it dawns on you that you've seen these horses before in Neverwinter.
I'm guessing I might be able to see Gundren's like on a saddlebag. Well, not on a saddlebag. It's like on the horse itself, his like logo or whatever you call it.
Yeah, so why don't you make a medical check? And you
This
can look at
isn't
the
the.
horses.
This is not the. This this is the. Wait. Oh yeah, this is the cleric. I keep getting
Hmm.
confused because he's a soldier. Okay,
Yep,
he's gonna do a medicine check and see if he can see what the heck happened here. He doesn't see any people though, right? There's nobody like.
correct.
Okay.
So you look at these arrows, you see how far they're embedded in the body, and you also notice that they're starting to get maggots and flies. So based on that, these horses were killed about 13 hours ago. So that places them right about the time that your patrons would have come through here.
Okay.
So you make a kind of a startling discovery.
Okay. And I do think that these belong to Gundren and Sildar.
Yep. So make a survival check.
Okay.
As you're looking around, you see some saddlebags that are laying next to the horses, and they've already been looted. And then
Okay.
nearby, there's an empty leather map case.
Okay. He picks that up.
At that moment, it dawns on you that those arrows belong to goblins.
Yeah, because the dwarves do not like goblins, so I think that he would be very familiar with the style of equipment that goblins use, which is usually crappy equipment. But the
So,
feathers, the black feathers are
so the way the game is
notice.
written is that it says that as soon as you investigate these saddlebags, that the goblin ambush will occur. So what you would do here is, in this case, pull up the stat block for one of the goblins. It could be any of them. There's a stealth of +6. So you can do this ahead of time or you can do it in real time. So I'm going to drag and drop the stealth roll. And they rolled a total of 12. So if you pull up the party sheet or any of the character sheets in Fantasy Grounds and you look at the stats here, all of them have a passive perception of 13 or higher, except for the rogue, the Lightfoot. So nobody in this group is surprised except for the guy that's riding the wagon. So their ambush kind of starts now. So I will have Shell. You want to roll for? You want me to roll for all the
I'll
initiatives, or
I'll roll for the initiative so we can show
okay?
people. Um,
And
I
I'm
have
gonna roll
also
for the
saved.
goblins.
Oh, I didn't. Yeah, did I? No, I didn't save it down there. Never mind. I'm gonna roll. I'm gonna roll. You just will click on your initiative symbol here on the front page of your sheet for each person. Should have went down the line here, which I didn't. So I am double clicking on their portraits to get their sheet to come up. And I already rolled the hill dwarf first. And the high elf is the final one. Oh my goodness, the hill dwarf did crappy. And he's way out, where nobody else
BFE,
is.
yeah.
So, we're
Okay.
gonna start with the Lightfoot.
Yeah, but I got to roll for the
Oh,
goblins.
okay.
So when I hit the down arrow for the encounter, it's going to add the goblins to the combat tracker. Normally, the settings in Fantasy Ground are at default. They're all probably going to have the same initiative and the same hit point if you leave the default settings on. But if you change them and you want to mix it up to where they're not all the same, you can go through there. So right now I have it on random, so they don't all have the same hit points. I have movement on 1.5, so if you move diagonally, it actually moves the correct distance. And then for the other settings, as far as initiative goes, instead of having it on group, I just have it on the setting called on, which is going to allow for each one to roll individual initiative instead of rolling as a group. So when I have those settings changed and I hit the down arrow, it does it automatically. So being that this is a surprise round, the Lightfoot is the first one in the group. He doesn't notice the goblins right away. And if you notice, all of the players already have their active abilities on. The High Elf has Mage Armor, so I'm assuming that you want to cast that spell.
I do.
Okay,
Let
so
me
we'll
go
leave
take.
that.
I'm gonna take
It's
her.
already it's already on.
No, I know, but I need to deduct a thing from her
Okay,
sheet.
all right. So the Lightfoot, we're gonna skip his turn because he actually is going to miss this turn because he was actually caught off guard. He was probably focusing in on the mission ahead and checking out the wagon and such. So he wasn't really paying attention. But the next person in this combat order is the high elf. So, Lady Shell, when you're ready, can you move to your next turn, or to the high elf, I should say? Okay.
Okay.
So the high elf casts mage armor. The spell is already on now. So you already have a spell casted. So that's basically your turn. If
Okay.
you have any bonus actions or movement, you can do that.
She does not, so she'll pass her turn.
Okay. So she just stays under the cover
Uh
of the.
oh. Oh, never mind.
Yep. Okay. So now that the goblins are going, in the encounter, it says that two of the goblins are melee and two of them are melee or ranged attack. So we have one individual down here in the south. This is goblin number 3. He is going to move forward. So I'm going to have him move. So to move them as a game master and to keep track of his movement, I'm going to hold down the Alt key initially. And that's basically his movement. Then he's going to take out his bow and take a shot at the human folk hero. And he should also be visible now because he came out of his cover.
Oh yeah.
So now that I have the noble targeted. I do that by holding down the right control key and clicking on the target. And in the combat tracker, it actually shows that he's targeted. So now all I have to do is double click on the short bow attack roll. So the arrow goes flying through the air and actually connects. It lands in between his armor pieces, and it does some damage to him. So you can hear him or you can hear him go oof, like he took a blow. So he took a total of 4 points of damage. And Fantasy Grounds will record that in the combat tracker. So he's already taken some damage. So the goblin jumps up and down in victory. He's like, "Yay!" So he's happy that his attack worked.
Yeah. Well, you're standing out in the middle of the road, so I wouldn't be so happy.
Yeah. So the next goblin does similar thing. He runs down the side of this, or runs up the side of the hill. This one actually takes his scimitar out And what he's going to do is hold his action, and if anyone gets close enough to him, he will attack them with his scimitar. So he's just coming out with this menacing look, and he's running, and he's kind of sticking his tongue out, and he's, taunting everybody. So that's his turn.
Should we be able to see him?
Yep, I'm going to
I
make him
only see
visible.
Goblin 3.
That's because I haven't turned him on.
Oh.
So there's his
Oh,
visibility.
yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So now it's the human noble's turn.
Okay. What I wanted to say also before the goblins had their turn, when I said uh-oh, in case you don't know why I said uh-oh, it's because when I passed my turn and I didn't see my next person get their turn, I knew that there were going to be something was going to take a turn next. That's why I said uh-oh. So just saying there. So the
Right.
noble is really close to Goblin 4, so he is going to move up one space, and he has a great axe, so he's going to take
Right.
his great axe and he's going
Before
to.
you do that, though,
Okay,
the
yeah.
goblin held his attack. Remember?
Oh crap. Yeah.
So he is
Okay.
going to take his scimitar and
Okay.
swing it.
Well, wait, he can't swing if he's not in
Yes.
within melee range of
Yes, he
me.
is. You move to melee range.
Oh, okay, so after I already moved, then he gets his turn. Okay.
Yep. You move close,
Okay.
and he hits.
Oh my goodness, he did hit very bad. Yeah.
Yep. So that might change the way you do things. So you
uh,
moved up to attack him,
yeah.
and you got slashed, and you got an arrow sticking out of your shoulder.
Yeah.
The
Well.
other thing that Shell mentioned is that you can turn on skipped hidden actors,
Oh.
and that way the players won't notice that.
Yeah. That's your DM tip. Okay,
Yep.
so my little noble here is feeling pretty dang hurt. So
Oh yeah.
he's oh shoot, he doesn't get the one where he gets this is the one where I always get second wind and the other one mixed
Well,
up.
second win is the healing, so he can do that if he
Okay.
wants.
That's a bonus action, right?
Yep. Yep.
Okay, but first he's gonna try and slash this guy with his great axe since he already
Hmm.
came out in the middle of nowhere here and got
Okay.
hit. So he takes his great axe here, and I'm gonna pick up the dice here to the right of the great axe, and I'm gonna drop it on the goblin and see if we hit.
Nice.
So we do hit, yeah. And we're gonna do our damage, which is the second box here. Again, drop it on the goblin.
Wow.
Yeah,
One hit.
well, it is a great axe. So
So split
then
him in half.
then he is going to use second wind on himself because he is
Okay.
really hurting.
Yep. All you have to
So
do is click on it.
yeah, I click on the plus sign for heal, and I drop the dice on myself.
All right.
And
Better than nothing.
well, 3 hit points is better than nothing, right? When you only
Yep.
have 10 hit points,
So
Okay,
you got
so
some of your hit points back.
he's gonna. Can he
So make
move
sure
again? He can move again, right?
yes, you can. Yes,
You
and
know,
you can
I
also check off your
Oh
second
yeah,
win.
definitely. Oh, it is. Oh yeah, this. Yeah,
Yep.
I clicked the little circle over there on the
Yep.
side, and I want to move. So I'm gonna move closer to the hillside.
Hmm.
Um, Up and then over and then up. So I'm next to the
Yep.
hillside, which gives me a little protection from if there's anybody up here, and if there's anyone down here, maybe the ox are gonna be
Yes.
some cover.
Yep. So
And
you're kind of next to that cliff, so that's cool.
right. So that's where he will end his turn.
Okay.
And we pass to the folk hero, which is the one in the back. The
Yep.
folk hero. Now, to see if I could see him, I'm going to click on the control key and then click on the goblin and see. Oops, I'm on the. Why did it? I forgot to. Sorry. I need to click on my person that's
Yep.
actually doing it. Then I
Yep.
want to click on the control, click on the goblin, and see if he has a straight shot. Now, it looks like my compatriot here is in the way, which would make it what -2.
Yeah. You can still move though. So if you want
Oh,
to
that's
move,
true.
You
Hmm.
want to move up, like, or cut the angle a little, you could.
Yeah, no, but these are all diagonal moves.
Hmm.
Okay, well, I'm going to try moving up anyway so I get a clear shot.
Okay.
So 5, 10. I am trying to avoid these diagonals. Okay, for right where I am, I should have a clear shot straight through here. And I can check it again.
Now
Hey,
you
you
do.
moved me.
Well,
I
yeah.
didn't go in the wagon.
Well, that's where it ended up because you probably moved it while I was approving the movement.
Oh,
So that's yeah. So you want to go over to the right.
you know
Actually,
what?
you can be right
Leave
there.
me in the
Yeah.
wagon because it
Yep.
gives me some height too. So
Yep. Yeah,
so
you're fine there.
now let
No
me get
penalty
on the
there.
right person. I've got human folk hero. I'm going to double click on my human folk hero.
So you're leaning like right up against the wagons, basically,
And this
and you're gonna fire away.
and she has a fighting style of archery, which is
It's
good for
already
her.
active. Yep.
So I'm
Now
going
you
to
just double
take
click.
my longbow and I'm going to drag it over here on the goblin. See if I hit it. I do indeed hit it. And
Nice.
then I'm going to do my damage. Again, drop it on the goblin. And I did heavy damage to him. So she does have a second wind, but she doesn't second wind is only for self, right? I mean,
Yeah, it's
I couldn't heal
correct.
someone else with it.
That's correct.
Okay, so she doesn't have any damage on her, so she's not going to use anything. She doesn't have any other bonus action, so
She has 5 more feet of movement if she wanted to.
she can stay in the wagon in the
Okay.
back seat there. And my
Right.
hill dwarf is all over here.
Hmm.
Um, he kind of wants to get over with his friends, but he wants to kind of stay along the cliff again. So he's going to move. Whoops, I don't need the control. Let's click on him. I'm going to move up and then I'm going to move over. He gets 25 feet of movement. He is against the cliff, so that kind of protects him from anyone up here,
Yep.
but not so much down here. And he does still see, of course, this guy. So he's going to use his. Let me click on his sheet. This is kind of a pain in the butt to do more than, and I forgot to delete these ranged things because he hasn't taken a shot yet. Now he's going to
Hmm.
use his crossbow. Now the crossbow, what is the distance for this? This goes for 80 and 320, so he has plenty of space. The goblin to check, we click control and it's 40 feet away, so would that be a problem? No, it
Nope.
wouldn't. Okay.
No. So just double click on the attack roll.
Okay, so I'm going to grab the die, drop it on the goblin.
Yeah, if you have it targeted, you don't have to drag it, but that's fine.
There's several ways to do things, but he
Yes.
missed. So,
Whoa.
yeah, that's not good. So, anyway, he's going to stay here and say a little prayer to himself.
So the
you know,
goblin kind of probably just moved without knowing, and
yeah,
kind of, got out of his way in time. So
right. Okay, so he's going to pass his turn.
okay. So the next goblin is coming out of the woodwork, so to speak, and he moves down to see what he can see as far as vision goes. You can see the top of the human noble's head. He doesn't notice the hill dwarf because he's short,
Yeah.
and he does see the Lightfoot criminal and the folk hero. So he's going to target the high elf acolyte. But as you can see, as I target that, he has to go through quite a bit of targets here.
That's
So
the
he's going to be at
oxen.
-5.
Mm.
He's still going to try it. He's got a short bow. He's got the high elf targeted. So I'm going to double click on the short bow attack roll. And of course, he's still hit, even with a -5 penalty. And he does a lot of damage and he takes her out. So the wizard has gone down. even with her armor class bonus from her spell. So he's did a pretty good roll there. So he got lucky and he's jumping up and down victoriously, like yee. Have him move up 1 square and pass his turn. So one of the characters has already gone down, the wizard.
Now,
She's hurt.
question. Because
Yep.
she's unconscious, you don't have to also put the prone on her, correct?
No.
Okay.
No. That's a good question, but no. Okay, so the next goblin. Let's see. He's also hiding in the bushes. He comes out with his bow. Change the visibility. And he is going to target the human noble. So he's got a straight shot right across the way. He's going to double click on his short bow. And he was able to connect.
This guy's feeling like a pincushion.
Oh, so he
Oh,
goes out
crap.
too. So
Oh,
there's 2 down already.
yeah,
So
this
as
is
you can
not a
see,
very good example of
no.
how to do good
Well,
combat.
this is something that will show you, the potential problems that you might
Yeah,
come against when you're running this encounter, and that's kind of
especially because they're goblins and they can run away.
correct. So now, your Lightfoot has his opportunity here.
And he can see number 2 really well. Let's click on his sheet. And, oh, yeah, he's got a short bow. He's going to pull out a short bow and he is going to attack Goblin 2. And he missed.
Oh,
Man,
little goblins are
the,
shifty.
the dice are not my friend today. He doesn't have any bonus actions or anything, so yeah,
You
I
can
guess he's
move, and that's
um
about it. And
can mm,
or you could try to
can he
hide too.
can he kind of can he hide like in the wagon, like
Yeah,
crawl
yeah.
under? Okay,
Go ahead
so
and roll a stealth check
let me
since
go
you're
and
not
grab my
moving.
stealth.
Yep. Put it in the dice tower, and then I'll
Yeah.
I'll I'll let I'll let you know. Okay. So for now, we'll just leave that as it is. So
Right.
I'll record that number as the GM. And if the goblins are able to notice her, I'll let her know.
Him.
I don't normally let her know if she's hidden or not unless she wants to make a sneak attack, then that might change it. But
Mm.
okay, so go ahead and move your turn. So
Okay.
Fantasy Grounds automatically made a death save, and that's a failure.
Oh yeah.
So go ahead and move again.
Great.
Okay. Goblin number 3 is going to switch targets. So right now he has the noble targeted. So I'm going to untarget him. And it looks like I'm going to be targeting the folk hero at this point. And then I'm going to double click on my short bow attack because I changed targets. So that way it's not trying to target the noble again, who's already down. And of course he hit. Oh my god. So these guys are actually getting very good rolls. They're taking the party out systematically, so this is not a good time. And when I advanced the turn, the human noble also failed its death save.
Can I also mention that there is an option of not letting it auto roll, letting your
Yes.
players roll their own death saves?
Yeah, so you
For
can turn
example.
that off. By default, it's on, but if you
Hmm.
want to turn that off and let the players roll themselves, you could do that.
As a player,
Okay,
I like to roll my own, but that's
I hear you.
fine.
Okay, so
Okay.
you're pretty hurt. A couple of your guys or a couple of your other allies are downed. So
Yeah.
um,
Let me click
you
on.
just got hit again.
Yeah, but we took one of them out, so that's better than nothing. Um, she's going to stay where she is because she has the
Mhm.
height advantage, and she's gonna. Well, let me now. This is what I'm gonna check here. Goblin number 2 is at healthy, But goblin number 3 is heavy, so she's going to try and target the one that has the most damage to it, hopefully to kill it in a shot here with
Yep, you
her
already have number
longbow.
3 targeted.
Okay, great. Oh yeah, I do. Okay, longbow. Come on, good roll, good roll.
Oh,
For goodness sake,
horrible.
she's got archery style and
No.
ah,
She has a
okay.
+7 to her roll, so she rolled a 3.
And
So she got a 10. It's not
but
enough.
but she does have second wind.
Yay.
So she is going to heal herself
Mhm.
so she can still be in battle here and not get taken out, hopefully. And she does 7 of 8. Very good heal
Good.
there. And then I'll pass my turn.
Okay.
And our cleric has the next.
So you have yourself targeted, just so you know.
Why did I
The
target
dwarf has
myself?
himself targeted. I don't know.
Hmm.
Just letting you know.
Okay. Yeah. I still have myself. I'm doing control click and it's not changing it. How come?
I don't know. First select the token and then do the
Oh,
right.
maybe that's why.
Yep, that's why. You have to select the token
Okay.
first
Yeah,
and
I
then hit
had the
target.
control already done
Mhm.
down. Okay, this guy number 3 is in bad shape, so instead of using crossbow this time, let's get the right thing up. Okay. He's not going to use weapons. Instead, he is going to use his dwarven cleric ability of Sacred Flame, and that's probably not a good thing, but I'm going to try it. And I say that because this is a deck save, and I'm thinking goblins have really good decks, so he's
Mhm.
probably going to not get hit. But
Well,
my dwarf wants to call on his god and try and
blast him.
yeah, give him some radiant damage. So I take my attack. Oh wait, whoops, cast,
Yep, the cast
and
dex
I
attack.
drag it on Goblin 3,
All right.
and Goblin 3 did
He
not.
takes a hit.
Oh no, he
You
didn't.
you you hit
Success.
him.
No,
Yeah, but this
success.
is a cast. Oh, it's a save. Yeah, he
It's a
saved.
save. Yeah.
Dang it. So no damage.
20. He saved with the 20.
Oh, dang
Um
it.
but I do have a bonus action. Now
Mhm.
let me look at my this it's I
I
have to
thought it
be
was a
within.
dex attack roll
No, no, no.
to
Okay,
save.
so it has to be within 60 feet, so he is not close enough to anybody, I don't think. How far is this
No.
guy? This guy's 70. He's going to move up so that he can, oh, yeah, cast on the noble because this guy's, wait, didn't this guy die?
Yeah, the noble's down.
Well, it says he's unconscious. It doesn't, it
Yep.
said dying before, but
Right.
I
He's
can
not dead.
revive him.
Yeah, if you get close enough.
Okay, so I only have to go move 10 feet.
Mhm.
So I move 10 feet. You know, I might want to move a little more than that. I'm going to move closer. Okay, so
Yep.
that's where I'm going to end.
Yep.
And then I'm going to use my bonus
Healing word.
action of Healing Word, and I'm going to
Good.
cast it on my human noble.
All right.
Oh,
Cool.
good. I gave him a really good heal
Yep.
there. Now
Mhm.
he only has 3 damage, and that's where my hill dwarf will end his turn out in the middle of
Make sure you
everybody's
turn off
sight.
your
My
you
what?
check off your spell slot.
Oh yeah, that's my no, that's my only. I have one left.
Yep.
No, wait. Yeah, yeah.
Yep.
Sorry. The Sacred Flame is a cantrip, but
Yep.
my Healing Word is a spell, so I have to
Yep.
click that off.
Yep.
So he's like in viewpoint of this guy and this guy, so he's kind of in trouble, but he wanted to save his friend, so
Makes sense.
he is going to end his turn.
All right. So goblin number 1 is going to change his target. So right now, I'm going to select goblin number 1. I'm going to deselect or unclick the high elf because she's already down. And he's going to retarget the hill dwarf and going to double click. But since there's such an angle here, it's kind of hard for him to hit the dwarf. So I'm going to give it a -2 because it's a steep angle. You kind of have to shoot at an awkward angle.
With my
So
luck, he'll probably hit.
yeah. So I'll just double click. Ooh, he rolled a 1. So what happens is he picks up his bow, he gets all excited. He thinks he's got a definite kill. But in that excitement, he drops his bow and loses his turn. So he can't move, he can't do anything.
I'd rather
But
have him fall off the cliff, but okay.
so he's going to pull out his scimitar and probably go from there. But that's his turn.
Okay.
So goblin number 2 is let's see, where is goblin number 2?
It's the
Okay,
one
he's
on
down
the
here.
left
Yep.
bottom.
So he is going to move. So I'm going to have him move up. So he's going to hop down this little hill embankment.